Hey, what's up, y'all? It's popping in today. About to react to this vid by TroyceTv. It's titled "Why These Men of Power Have Weird Relationships with Kids." The Dan Schneiders and then the Drakes of the world. He talking about y'all. Anyway, let's see what he has to say. Let's watch.
Some viewers may find this disturbing.
I need to leave that
Your
alone.
discretion is advised.
Hi, my loves. It's Des and Troyce, and you're watching TroyceTv. So in today's video, we really had to get on here and talk about this controversial...
So I saw a snippet of this, and I saw that people were upset. But I skipped right over it because I just didn't care enough. But apparently this is a teacher, and people were mad that these girls were like braiding his hair, taking his hair down, it looks like, actually. And I'm like, what?
Teacher who thought it was okay to allow his students to unbraid his hair during class.
I'm saying this was completely fine. There was nothing wrong with what I was doing, and people were just making it weird. So of course I had to bring this issue to the big stage. I would like to represent myself.
I don't think it's weird at all. So people who are sexualizing it, you're fucking weird. Cause what? Where does the sex even come in? Like, that's just very strange and very disgusting. But I just think it's unprofessional. I think that's a better word. Cause let's say they were helping him like clean, I don't know, his fucking shoes or something. It's like, bro, I ain't sending my daughter to school to fucking help you and do some manual labor for fucking free. Like, what is this? Like, bro, sit the fuck down. Like, get off his head. Is he paying you for this? No? Okay, let's do some homework or something. I don't know, go fucking play. Go do something else. So that's what my thinking would be if any of these, you know, little girls were my daughter. But I wouldn't automatically think, oh, he's trying to sexualize them. Like, y'all are fucking weird.
In this case, Your Honor, if I may, I would have taken it out the night before, but that Friday we had a camera crew coming in to shoot a promotional video, and I was one of the ones being interviewed. So I had to look presentable, so I didn't take my hair out.
Okay, they
I
were
didn't have the
helping
time
him.
to do it all myself because it would have taken me forever. So naturally, I asked about 4 or 5 of my over 100 best friends to assist me in taking my hair out, and they all agreed.
So a teacher by the name of Mr. White is a 28 or maybe 29-year-old teacher who works for the PG County School District located in Maryland in the United States. And long story short, he started his teaching journey around 2018 as a substitute teacher, and then eventually worked his way up from elementary school all the way to middle school. From what I've researched and looked into, he's not just a science teacher, but he's also an influencer and a live streamer. And he has a very good relationship with the students that he teaches and a lot of the students at the school, because he not only donates a lot of his time to these students, but he also pours into these students. He's like a therapist to these students, and overall, a lot of these students generally look up to him. Now, this all started because last week, he went on live stream on TikTok, and he basically filmed himself getting his hair taken out by several female students. Now, he got a lot of backlash during that live stream, so he decided to screen record some of that live stream and post snippets of it on his TikTok and his Instagram, and basically trying to make it very clear that people should not be overthinking this, that this is simply just students trying to help him take his hair down, because basically he had a hair appointment, he didn't have time to take his hair down the night before, and his students offered to help.
Okay, he was, you know, it was a time of need. I thought it was just, hey, I don't feel like doing this, hey, y'all come help me out. It's like, nigga, go home and do it yourself. Fuck out of here. I'm using my daughter for that. But okay, in this time of need, hey, I'm desperate, can y'all help me? And if they look up to him, okay, we don't mind. It's not a big deal.
Help him. A lot of people feel as though that this is inappropriate. A lot of people went on social media saying that this is disgusting, this is grooming, you should never let young girls touch your hair, if it's not your wife, if it's not your hairstylist, and if it's not someone you're dating or someone you're messing around with, no one should be touching your hair. And in my honest opinion, this is all I gotta say about this. This shit was very inappropriate and a little bit disturbing. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's inappropriate and disturbing because I don't know about y'all, but when we're children, they oftentimes tell us, keep your hands, body, and objects to yourself. They teach us that at a very young age. And I get that he has a good relationship with these kids, and he's playing sports with these kids, and he has games going on with his kids, and these kids like to play around with him, make TikToks with him. But there's a power dynamic here. At the end of the day, you can't do shit like that, because when you do shit like that, people have their ideas and assumptions. I hate to say it, but we live in 2024 where every single week we have a new story of somebody fucking their teacher every single week.
Students have come forward accusing their elementary school teacher of inappropriate behavior and sexual assault. 29-year-old Eric Givens appeared in bond court this morning. He is facing serious charges, including child molestation and battery. He was arrested on Friday in connection to the most recent accusation. A 10-year-old at Theodore R. and Thelma A. Gibson Charter School claims that she was in the 5th grade when her teacher, Mr. G, sexually assaulted her inside of his classroom.
We just checked, and this South Bay teacher is still in jail at this hour, accused of having a 2-year sexual relationship with a student.
That has since been tarnished after his arrest yesterday. Tarleton was arrested at his home after deputies say he had an inappropriate relationship with one of his students last year.
We actually found out about this relationship, if you will, through an email that was sent by a parent, not directly connected with the teacher.
Authorities say pictures were uploaded to an app called After School. It showed the two in a hotel bathroom. One picture with the two partially clothed, the other of Tarleton completely nude.
And the school immediately took that teacher out of the classroom, removed him from all student contact, and he's also placed on paid administrative leave.
Brittany Collops is now on trial, accused of sleeping with 5 students, 4 of them football players. One says his relationship began with this innocent text message from the 27-year-old married mother of 3. Ooh. Hey, it's Coach Collops. Do you know what time the baseball game starts? But soon that student said he was exchanging up to 100 texts a day with her.
She said that she craved that I had something that she wanted.
It progressed into explicit sexual messages and then an agreement to meet for sex.
The prosecution's evidence against Collops, who taught at this school outside Fort Worth, Texas, includes cell phone video that allegedly shows group sex between the teacher and 4 of her students.
And this is why having close relationships with your students and referring them to them as besties. Did y'all know that some of these students have this teacher's number? First of all, this teacher right here, for example, this white lady that got accused of smashing 5 of her students, they damn near fucking ghetto gagged and gangbanged this bitch. They fucking beat the brakes off her cootie cat. And for them to fucking sit up here and try to go to court and say, yeah, you know, the teacher said she wanted me, she wanted this, she wanted that. Man, this is why there needs to be fucking boundaries, because sometimes all it takes is one student saying some outrageous shit and then you lose your whole career.
Yeah, I don't understand why numbers are being exchanged. I was a substitute teacher, and I wish any of those baby kids would have asked my fucking number. You ain't getting my number. Tell your parents to email me. I don't even want your parents to have my fucking number. Get out my face, all right? So that was my sentiment. I cannot fathom how anyone would be sexually attracted. Like, ew, these little pissy ass, annoying ass baby kids and their children. Like, what is attractive about that? Even the little boy, their children. Even when they talk. I remember I taught the 8th grade, okay? There was this 8th grader. This man was a smooth about 6'2". I don't know why he was so tall. I was like, this is shocking. He looked grown. Well, grown-ish compared to all the other students. But you're still a child. Like, you can still see the baby face. Nothing is attractive about that. If you looking like a whole 14-year-old, 15-year-old, and you sleeping with them, like,
a fucking
y'all are fucking sick in the head.
Every single week there's a new story
like,
about somebody messing around with their teacher because things got a little bit out of control.
But that's not everybody. So I don't think it's fair to, you know, have that wall up. If you do want to connect with your students and you want to be there for them, because I do think all of that goes into being a good teacher. I have had some good teachers, you know, over the years, and definitely they were a bit closer to us than maybe the other teachers who were like super standoffish and just like, I'm here to get a check. That's the type of teacher I was. But, you know, there are some teachers who are a bit more personable, and I don't think that's an issue. But, I mean, obviously there does need to be some boundaries, and I do think having the students have your telephone number is that's a bit much.
Then it led to texting. On top of texting, led to usually these kids trying to come over your house. And this even relates to the whole Drake and Millie Bobby Brown situation. Drake and Millie Bobby Brown have a very odd relationship. Well, when she was a teenager, they had a very awkward relationship.
What about your relationship with Drake? Tell me about your friendship. How did this all come about?
I love him. I met him in Australia, and he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. You know, we just texted each other the other day, and he was like, I miss you so much. I was like, I miss you more. He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely gonna go and see him. I'm so excited. Yeah.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys. He helps me.
What?
Yeah. He's great. He's wonderful. I love him.
What's advice for boys?
You know, That stays in your text messages.
Because it opens the floodgates of somebody being predatory. It's inappropriate. First of all, this is fucking school. This is not cosmetology school. This is school. These kids are supposed to be taught science. These kids should be sitting in a desk. These kids need to be acting accordingly. He did get a lot of people trying to question him and ask him what is his intentions with a lot of these female students touching on him, and the fact that he even has gone as far as...
Okay, what is this? Now we're doing too much. I didn't see this video. Is this a fucking spa? Niggas trying to get free services. Again, that's what would be my concern as well. You know, not even... and he's filming everything, so it's like, okay, and there are multiple students here. I do think that this is safe. It's not like it's one student in there with him and, you know, there's anything too personal going on. Like, there are multiple kids here. But this, what the fuck is this? She giving you a manicure, my nigga? Now we doing too much.
Texting these female students. Yes, if y'all didn't know, he addressed the backlash because if y'all didn't know, he got suspended from teaching because there's currently an ongoing investigation, according to the Shanell, who's giving insight on the situation. Now, he went on TikTok to discuss the fact that he did get suspended and that he's currently not able to be with the kids right now. And now he has the kids texting him, sending him messages saying that they're his besties, that they love him and care about him and hope things work out.
To come on here and read some of the messages that my students are sending me. Our class misses you so much. And we really want you to know that we love you and we miss you so much. And can't wait for you to come back. Again, we miss you and we love you so much. And can't wait for you to come back. You're one of the few teachers that made me really feel like I had a voice and opinion.
First of all, why the fuck did these kids have your fucking number? Like, even when I was a kid, I remember teachers would be like, oh, you can email me. Okay, cool, you can use my school email. You can email me. Like, that was the most a teacher would give you contact to them. That was the most you get. But the fact that these kids are going around saying bestie and oh my God, you know, we love you and care about you. Like, why are they texting you? That's a little weird. Now, it wouldn't be weird if he didn't show that video of them touching his hair. On top of that, it's a little bit inappropriate because there's also other TikToks of him doing a little bit of cringeworthy stuff.
Thank you. Enjoy your day. You too, baby. You too, baby. What you trying to get into? Baby, I'm just doing my job. See, you call me baby again. And it don't sound like you just doing your job. Young man, I'm gonna need you to stop. Yeah, I see that little wagon on your back. Oh, excuse me? You trying to go behind the sesame seed or you gonna get down? Security? Security. Security ain't gonna stop.
And that's kind of what I mean when I say that stuff like that's not appropriate. You know, did you get permission from these kids? Parents to put them on social media like that? Did you get permission from the school to be recording these students like that and posting it on your TikTok? He had good intentions, but again, people take this the wrong way because y'all cannot forget what happened with Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson had this really weird and awkward connection with children because Michael Jackson didn't have a childhood growing up and he was the youngest out of all his siblings and he didn't really get a chance to pretty much live his life and see what it was like to be a kid. So he endured a lot of childhood trauma, he had to grow up very fast, and kids were the source of his inspiration. So eventually got to the point where Michael Jackson would literally go out of his way where he would basically, as an adult, tell a lot of the fans of a lot of these parents to drop their kids off his house and he could play games with them, and he could play toys with them. He had a whole Leaving Neverland amusement park in his backyard to one of his homes in California. And eventually, things got fucking weird because he was over here having sleepovers with other people's kids.
I gave him the bed because he has a brother named Star. So him and Star took the bed, and I'm on the sleeping bed.
Did you ever sleep in the bed with them?
No. But I have slept in the bed with many children. I sleep in the bed with all of them. When Macaulay Culkin were little, Kieran Culkin would sleep on this side, Macaulay Culkin's on this side, his sister's in there. We're all just jamming the bed. Then we wake up like dawn and go in the hot air balloon. You know, we have the footage. I have all that footage.
Is that right, Michael?
It's very right. It's very loving. That's what the world needs now. More love, more.
The world needs a man who's 44 sleeping in a bed with children.
No, you're making it all wrong.
Well, tell me, help me.
Because what's wrong with sharing love? You don't sleep with your kids or some other kid who needs love, who didn't have a good childhood?
No.
I would never dream of sleeping. I would never dream.
Because you've never been where I've been, mentally.
What do you think people would say if I said, well, I've invited some of my daughter's friends round or my son's friends round and they're going to sleep in the bed with me tonight?
That's fine.
What do you think their parents would say?
If they're wacky, they would say you can't.
First of all, you are a grown-ass fucking man in your fucking early 30s. What the fuck you doing trying to hang out with a 9-year-old? Forgive me, what are you doing trying to hang out with a 12 and 13-year-old? What the fuck do you have in common with Colin McLaughlin? What do you have in common with a lot of these little kids to where you want to have them in your bedroom and you're sleeping in the same bed as them? Or someone's sleeping on the floor and you're sleeping on the bed? That's fucking weird. And to be honest with you, these parents need their fucking ass whooped for even allowing a lot of these kids, their kids, to be in the same bedroom as Michael Jackson. This is weird. And then there was all types of rumors and lies being spread. And then a lot of these kids were coming out saying that they were touched and molested. Come to find out, some of these kids were out here fucking lying because their parents trying to make some extra money and get a nice settlement. On top of that, there were other scenarios where the maid and the cook was going around spreading rumors saying that she physically saw Michael bathing and taking a shower with a lot of these kids.
Adrian McManus started working for Jackson in 1993.
I'd walk in his room. His underwears would be floating in the jacuzzi, in the water heater jacuzzi in his bedroom. They'd be floating in the water with the little boy's underwears.
She claims she was warned by a Jackson employee to never reveal what she saw or else.
He said, you know what, Adrian, if you ever go on a talk show or a TV show, we can hire a hitman. Have your neck slit. They'll never find your body. We can hire a sniper to take you out.
This Eminem built ass bitch is a fucking liar, looking like a bag of laundry and shit. But that's another video. That's what I mean. I'm talking about the fact that a lot of people will take shit like that the wrong way because there's a lot of predators and groomers. We live in a world and society where you see a lot of these grown-ass men hanging out outside of high schools trying to go fishing so that way they can go pick up high school girls. It doesn't matter if it's fucking innocent. It's inappropriate. Because first of all, I've heard so many horror stories, and even as a child, I saw so many things where I remember being like 14, 15 years old, and a lot of my homegirls were dating boys that were like 25. Like, yes, I had friends who were 14, 15 years old, fucking 25-year-olds.
Yeah, see, that's too much. But I remember when I was 16, I was dating a 19-year-old. I remember I mentioned this on the internet, and the internet telling me, oh, you got groomed. And it was a victim. I'm just like, bro, come on, bro. I mean, now in hindsight, that was a bit of an age gap, but I feel like that's not nearly as bad. Like, people get a little sensitive when it comes to ages at times. And especially, I was about to be 17, let's be clear. I actually turned 17, I'm sure, when I was still with him. I'm pretty sure. I'm not thinking about the boyfriend after him. Anyway, I was around that age, okay? And I feel like 2 years is fine. You're both teenagers, that's fine. But if he was 20 and I was 16, that's a no. Or 19 and 15, that's a no. But I feel like 16 and 19, that's kind of like, that's the cutoff point. But when 16, 17 with 25, 24, now that's disgusting. You definitely fucking with a pedo at that point.
That is the most, like, back then I thought it was a little bit weird, but you just dust it off like, okay, whatever, it's normal. But then when you become an adult, you understand.
No, I remember, and I knew it was weird back then. I remember my friend, she was 14. And I remember she was very shapely to be 14 as well. So I feel like a lot of older guys would be interested in her. And she was saying she was fucking with this dude who was 20. And she was saying, oh, yeah, we did anal. That was fun or whatever. And I was like, oh, my God, this is horrible. You doing anal already at 14? Like, that's crazy. And I hadn't even lost my virginity yet because I'm pretty sure I was around the same age as her. And I'm just like, you already doing in the back? In the back, too? And I'm like, oh, this grown-ass, old-ass man who's 20? Like, I remember thinking that was weird as fuck back then. But, I didn't say anything. I let her live her life or whatever. But, yeah, I do recall that. That's fucking disgusting. He was fucking a 20-year-old. I mean, a 14-year-old, bro. And making her do... That's so sad.
Why it's important to protect
I wonder what she's doing now.
Grown-ass adults and weird power dynamic relationships. Because you don't have shit in common with a 14, 15-year-old. It'd be different if this person was 18 years old because at that point, this person's out of school and all grown up. But you just cannot be doing that. And I get that he wants to sit up here and say that it's only sexual if you perceive it that way.
We'll start with this gentleman right here. You're letting your daughters play in a grown man's head. God forbid I had kids, but if I had a daughter with a teacher like myself, with a good heart, good spirit, sound mind.
How would you know that though?
No, I would not mind if they took his hair out. That's what little girls like to do.
Because he didn't take the backlash very well. He turned it into a, well, if you perceive it that way, then there's something psychologically wrong with you. It's not the fact that there's something psychologically wrong with people. It's just the fact that there are predators out there that take advantage. Now, Fox
But I don't think that's fair to treat everybody like a predator, though. So I kind of feel what he's saying. It's like, okay, yes, this happens, but that's not every case. Like, most cases, it is innocent. Most of the time, people are not trying to fuck their students. Yes, we have these, incidents where people are sleeping with their students, but think about the statistics. Like, I'm sure they're in the very small minority, people who are fucking their students. So, of course, you can keep in mind and keep an eye out for things like this, but I don't think it's fair to assume that everybody's a predator because we have this small minority of predators who are lurking and who are teachers and who are, in positions of power. So I kind of feel what he's saying.
Segment.
But again, I don't also support it because like I said initially, I think it's unprofessional, A, and B, niggas is painting your nails, well, not niggas, little girl. Little girls are painting your fucking nails and shit. Like, what is this? This ain't no spa. Like, fuck out of here.
Where they talked about their opinions, and one of the commentators gave a very nice insight, and I wanted to play what he said.
He's opening some very dangerous doors. He's undermining his authority. His job is to teach science for the entirety of his class. That is his job. Mm-hmm. As far as his relationship, I don't need him building a rapport. I don't need him getting to know my child. I'm sorry. As a parent, I don't. I need him teaching my child, and for the entirety. Mm-hmm. I don't need time to say, well, but
isn't teaching your child part of getting to know them and finding out where their deficiencies are, where their pluses are?
Absolutely, but you're not going to do that getting your hair unbraided. Yeah. I could have him washing my car in the parking lot and saying, hey, I'm trying to build rapport with his kids.
Right. Sounds like free labor to me.
But let me say, this is not an ongoing
Talk about
thing.
it.
And by the way, two seconds. Teachers, we appreciate you. It's the week of your appreciation. I thank you for everything you've done. Again, let me move on. It's not something that he's doing continuous. He's doing a lot of things with them. Playing soccer, doing other things. So again, he is teaching. He's trying to bridge that gap. And yes, you gotta be careful, but you gotta make sure it's okay with the parent. You may have a problem with it, but another parent might not.
But that gap is not in his head. It's not on top of his head.
But he's doing both. And that's what I'm saying. Nobody's talking about he's pushing education. He's doing that and that. He's doing both. But so again...
We even try to relate it to science. We even try to say this is symbiotism. It's not. He's having these kids unbraid his hair because he didn't manage his time well enough to do it himself. This is a hygiene issue. Get your hair done at home on your own time.
I don't think he should be fired. I think they should punish him. I think he should be suspended for like a week or 2 weeks. I think they need to have a conversation for a lot of these kids in these classrooms. But I don't think he should be fired. And the reason why I don't think he should be fired is because we really do need teachers like this who are involved. Not that involved, but we do need teachers that should be involved. Because, first of all, let me just say, a lot of y'all kids are fucking gremlins. Yes. Forgive me, but they are. I will honestly say that it takes a certain type of personality to be a teacher, and it takes somebody with a certain level of patience to be a teacher. I don't give a fuck how much money I'm offered. I could never sit around these children all fucking day and deal with them. I don't even fucking like children. I like children when they're young and innocent and polite and curious, but then when children start to get to like 10, 11, 12, 13, that's when they start to get all fucking evil and shit. And that's when it starts to become annoying and tedious and a lot of work. So I take my hat off to anybody that wants to be a teacher because we do need good teachers. We need teachers who are leaders because these students look up to these teachers. These students connect with these teachers because they resonate with these teachers. These students need guidance because a lot of times these parents be crackheads, a lot of these parents be trash, a lot of these parents be doing dumb shit, and a lot of these parents will go out of their way to complain about this teacher, but they'll never go to the field trips. They'll never go to the PTA meetings. They'll never help check their homework. Let's be real. How many of y'all got your homework checks consistently when you were a kid? Mostly none of us. because we didn't have our parents involved like that. That's why when we got older, a lot of us didn't feel connected to our parents when they would try to be in our business or want to know what's going on with us, because they didn't care that much when we were in school. They didn't care to be a part of those developmental stages. So why would I want to connect with you and tell you things? So we need teachers that care, but we also gotta, like, honestly call a spade and call this shit out for being inappropriate. And it's not even just looking at this in a sexual way, because it can also be interpreted as a way of like, what are these kids doing? Why are they sitting down doing TikTok videos? Why are they sitting down doing this stuff?
They're gonna learn something.
It's no wonder a lot of these kids are dumb as fuck and are glued to their cell phones. A lot of these kids have an attention span of a fucking grape and can't even sit still or pay attention or start on their phones. And I did appreciate the fact that this guy had a good relationship with his kids, to the point where a lot of them were always trying to be in his class. You know, science is fucking boring. I never liked that shit as a kid. So to have kids glued to their seats and looking forward to coming to your class, that's a good thing. But it's inappropriate. So at the end of the day, I do understand why a lot of parents were upset, but I really hope a lot of these parents can look at themselves in the mirror and reflect on, maybe you're also the problem. Why is your kid connecting so much to a different adult that they can't connect with you at home? You know, this guy,
I think it takes
seems
a
like
village.
a good person.
He
Seems like he's willing to tolerate and deal with shit pay, you know, shitty faculty, a shit curriculum, and he's willing to come to work every day with a positive attitude to be guidance for these children who look up to him. But you gotta use your fucking common sense, or else you're gonna end up like Michael Jackson and being accused of being a predator. Because worst comes to worst, what happens if he gets accused of being a predator by some little girl who just wanted to be an asshole? What happens if some little girl gets a crush on him, gets her heart broken, and she goes around trying to like spread rumors and talk shit about him being a predator and doing too much? Or let's say she makes a slick comment about, you know, her having a crush on him and her trying to link up with him, and then someone takes it the wrong way and says, oh my God, I was at Mr. Maurice White's house, and, you know, he was so handsome, and he had his arms out, and he was looking good. And what happens if a parent or a student takes that the wrong way, and then they go relay that information to somebody else? Then it's going to be a whole investigation. Then it's Michael Jackson all over again. These kids should not have your number, and these kids should not be over here asking you these weird, inappropriate ass questions, and these kids should not be over here filming TikToks with you to this degree.
What weird question is that?
And these kids really also should not be all up in your hair like that. Because to be honest with you, that's your ass. Why the fuck are you so irresponsible that you couldn't get your own fucking hair taken now? Why the fuck you couldn't just schedule your hair appointment to another day? Move your hair appointment to a different day. It's just inappropriate. And
I think he said he's gonna be on camera or something.
What about those other busted ass kids that come to school looking raggedy as hell, and these teachers want to do their hair? That is a good point. A lot of times these teachers will come to school and see their students looking busted as hell, and they'll try to put their kids' hair in a ponytail or put their hair up to make them look confident and stuff like that. But I feel like that's different. That's my thoughts on that. These same kids and these same parents and even Cardi B's ass that are out here defending him, let me ask y'all a genuine question.
What did Cardi do?
Would y'all give him money if he gets laid off? Like, are y'all gonna pay his rent for the month? These kids are stupid. These kids don't know shit. These kids are dumb. They don't know shit about boundaries. You don't know anything about boundaries until you get to a certain age and you've lived enough. But these kids don't understand the concept of boundaries. People just don't know what you guys thought about this video.
I mean, I hear what he's saying, and I totally understand. This is just a tricky situation. Off the bat, I was thinking this is unprofessional, if anything. And I'm looking at it and saying that it seems relatively innocent. And, you know, he does have multiple girls there. It's not like a one-on-one thing. And then he is recording it. So it seems innocent. But if I'm being honest, would I want my daughter to be doing that? No. Because a part of me would be a little suspicious. And, you know, I would be thinking that it's a possibility that he's a weirdo, because I don't need my daughter this close up on you, But also, like I said, this is free fucking labor. What the hell? Why is my daughter taking down your goddamn hair for free and painting your nails? Like, you doing too goddamn much. So I think that's a bit off and a bit much personally. But on the other end, I do think it's also problematic to just assume that everybody is a predator or everybody is being inappropriate in every situation just because there are, you know, those oddballs out there who are weirdos. That doesn't apply to everybody. So I don't think it's fair to automatically put that label on everyone and be like, oh, this is weird, or this is nasty. Or this. You know, I don't think it's fair to jump to that. But I do think it's fair to say, hey, this is a little inappropriate. This is a little unprofessional, and I don't know about this. I think that's fair to bring that up. But yeah, he should exercise some type of common sense, because I don't know why you thought this looks good. Like, the optics on this are just kind of wild, to be honest. But, you know, I hope that he can come back to work and everything's fine and he just adjusts how he does things. Yeah, but I definitely don't think he needs to be fired. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what other videos you want to watch, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye!